Hello, my beautiful friends. I am Emily Minear, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I have a few thoughts that I wanted to share with you today. Some things that have been rolling around in my head the last week or so. I watched a video by Sarah Marble that talked about the levels of commitment, the different levels of commitment. I loved it. And two thoughts came to my head, or I found myself thinking of two things as I was listening. One, obviously, how helpful it is for me as a leader to be able to kind of recognize what level of commitment an ambassador I'm working with is, because obviously someone at a level 4 or 5 needs something different from me than someone who's at a level 1 or 2 or 3. The second thing I thought of was where is my commitment level in different areas of my life and my business. And in some areas I find myself to have a really high commitment level, and other areas not so much, maybe lower than I would like. I'm sure that we're all this way. And as I recognize some areas that my commitment is not what I would like it to be, I noticed that some of my self-limiting beliefs surfaced. They came to mind. Some of the language that we use, some of those scripts that float through our head, maybe it might sound like, what's wrong with me? Oh, I'm a level 2? What? I want to be a level 5. What's wrong with me? Or I've been trying, maybe some frustration. I've been trying. I'm committed. I am committed. Why are my actions not showing it? Like my mind's committed, but obviously, anyway. So you know what your scripts are. I don't need to go through those. But I found myself thinking that. And one thing that I've learned in my life that is so important for me to remember, and this sometimes for me is the biggest struggle at creating change in my life, is once we become aware that a change needs to happen, maybe I recognize I'm at a level 2 commitment and I want to be a level 5. Obviously there's change that needs to happen, right? And those self-limiting beliefs are popping up and maybe talking to me. Those really keep me from making progress and making that change. And so in addition to needing to be aware of a problem or aware that change needs to happen, the second thing that is so critical for me to be able to move forward and make and create change, sustainable change in my life, is an acceptance and love for myself exactly where I am, okay, without change. To be able to say, Emily, you are beautiful and lovable and worthy exactly where you're at, even if you never make this change. And when I can do that, I can move forward. And until I do, maybe I move forward temporarily, but it's never a sustained change, okay? And most of the time, I find myself moving backwards, either being stuck or moving even backwards. So, all right, so what was helpful to me, or what is helpful to me, as I was watching this video and thinking about these things and these little kind of self-limiting beliefs started popping into my head, because I was thinking, oh, I'm not a 5. Oh. I remember something that I learned in therapy a couple of years ago that I really found helpful to my current situation. Don't remember what it was, but she talked to me about the stages of change. There's 5 stages of change, and we have to go through them. Every single one of us, 100% of us. We may change the amount of time we stay in each stage. We may move through those stages very quickly, or we may stay stuck in one for quite some time, maybe a really long process, depending on the change that needs to be made. But we have to go through them. And it was so helpful for me to hear and recognize that, like, I am beautifully and perfectly human. And I may be stuck in stage 2 or 3 of change, but that's normal and it's okay. And that really helped me to be able to accept and love myself where I was at, so that I could move on and make the change to the next stage. Okay, so I hope this helps you too. So let's talk about what they are. So the first one is pre-contemplative. That's before we're even aware that a change needs to be made. Maybe we're in denial about it. Maybe we're completely blissfully unaware that there's even a problem, that some sort of harm is coming to us or others because of something. Maybe we're aware kind of that there's something off, but we don't recognize that there's something we can do. Maybe we're blaming it on outside circumstances, genetics, or our circumstance or situation, or someone else's actions. Okay, so that's pre-contemplative. The second stage is contemplative, and that's where we become aware that there's a problem, something needs to happen, there's some harm coming, and that there's something that we can do about it to solve that problem or to create a solution. And so we start really thinking about it. And this is one of the stages that I find myself stuck in, that I felt frustrated with, is I know there's a problem, I know there's something wrong with me, there's something I need to do differently. I'm very aware of that. I'm not sure what to do or how to do it, and I don't even know that I'm ready to do it, but I'm thinking about it, okay? That's the contemplative stage. The third stage is preparation, and that's when we start making plans. We haven't made a change yet, but we're starting to think not just about, do I want to change this? Can I change this? To, okay, I have made a decision and a commitment to make this change. I'm not doing it yet, but I'm going to think about how. What can I do to make this change happen? That's our preparation stage. The fourth stage is the action stage, and this is when we actually start implementing those plans and those things that we've decided to do to make the change. We start acting out that change. We actually start changing, and this is the stage that other people could see. So when you're comparing yourself to others and their commitment level, because if they're at a higher commitment level, they've made some changes, right? So don't beat yourself up that you're not there yet. This is like, it takes time to get through this process to get to the action, but this is the action stage that we really start to see change happen. And the fifth stage is maintenance. And that's when it's maybe not quite so much work, like we've kind of made the change. Because when we're in that action stage, we're very purposeful and intentional, and really, like, it might still be a little bit of a struggle. The maintenance phase is where it's kind of become a habit or just a part of us, and it's not, I have to say it's not effort, but it's kind of who we are and what we do. Okay, so I hope that was helpful to you as it was to me, to just recognize and understand. I hope that for me, understanding those phases, and that I'm normal and beautifully human for being in whatever stage I am, stuck sometimes even, it really has helped me to be able to acknowledge that and say, you know what, I'm in the contemplative stage, and I am going to be patient with myself and know that I am going to move past this stage to the planning, preparation stage and the action stage. That has really helped me be able to move forward. As I look back in my life, in the changes that I've made, I can see exactly where I've been in those. Some of those stages I've been stuck in for a really way longer than I want to be. But knowing that has really helped me be able to move forward and see growth. So I hope that's helpful to all of you, and I love you all, and Merry Christmas.